In the 2022 Ashland-Greenwood Holiday Tournament for today's championship game between the home team, the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays, sitting at 2-4 after their victory yesterday over Plattsmouth, and following head coach Dave Hubert in his second season here with the Blue Jays. The opponent today, C2 Archbishop Bergan out of Fremont, Nebraska, coached by Nate Pribno in his 12th season, the last 5 of which have ended in the state tournament. So Bergan comes in 8-0 on the season. And last year these two teams played in the championship game, and it was an overtime game. Bergan ended up with the championship a year ago. So it's a really tight matchup last year. So joining me today, we've got Aiden Rowley on the production side of things, behind the camera, bringing us these great pictures. The Elliot Gosson. And my color commentator, and I don't think Dad's here yet, Kendra, so we might be able to argue a little bit more today, but my sister, Kendra Craven, former volleyball coach here at Ashland-Greenwood. So, Kendra, what thoughts do you have about this big game, this championship game today?
You know, I'm glad you gave the recap from last year, because I was just talking to my daughter on the way here what happened last year, and I'm like, I don't remember. But we do know that a lot about Fremont Bergan, that they have a very strong tradition of just athletic girls, as they were in the state championship for volleyball yet again, too. And these are the same girls on this roster that were at the state tournament that won it again this year, too. So it's going to be a tough battle today on this court, but it's going to be an exciting one. And so, folks, if you're out there listening, you're going to be in for a great game. And if you haven't left your house and you've got some time, come on down and watch this, because it'll be much better in person than actually listening to us. I'm just saying. Yeah,
so, you know, the Blue Jays come in at 2-4. Mark Adell, our in-house statistician, has done a little figuring. Yesterday we talked about the Blue Jay opponents have, I think, combined for 22 or 23 wins. There's 5 opponents, and so most teams have played 5 to 6 games this time of year. So they played some really good teams. Obviously, the close loss to Milford and a close loss to Wahoo, both of which have good records. Mark did a little figuring on his calculator, I'm pretty sure, and he came up with that the Blue Jays are actually at 2-4 on the season, are actually outscoring their opponents 40-39. Wow. So while that's very close, I think that just shows you how close they've been in several games. And we talked a little bit about the Bennington game was certainly a rough one. Bennington's a quality Class B opponent. We had a hard time scoring that day, but yesterday the Blue Jays played with good rhythm, good pace, but the ball moved, and the girls shot the basketball with confidence, and they scored 56 points yesterday, shot 43% for the game. And one of the things that Bergan presents as a challenge is that they bring a lot of full court pressure. Last year that gave us some trouble, and it kind of turned the game at the end of it when we couldn't quite get over the hump. And I think Coach Hubert feels a little bit more confident this year that we have multiple girls that can handle the ball well enough. We don't have to throw it just to one person. I think he feels good about the fact that the pressure may not bother us as much, and that's just going to be a matter, again, can we get enough offense to keep that lead or keep this game interesting.
And you had mentioned about a rhythm, and I know Coach Hubert, he will never make excuses for the team, but the Blue Jays are finally just settling into a rhythm, as I've had many starting lineup changes with injuries. And so I think that has also helped lately, just even with practice preparation and everything. So we'll see as we get ready to go.
All right, we're going to have a national anthem since these two teams are here for their first game of the day, and the boys will be playing each other in the boys' final. So we're going to have a national anthem here. So we're going to pause for a moment for our national anthem.
starters for our contest. First for the visiting Knights. 5'4" junior, number 1, Summer.
All right, get resituated here. We got a crowded platform here. We got 4 of us up here today, getting myself organized. So the starters for Fremont Bergan, Archbishop Bergan Knights. The junior, Summer Bajanski is number 1. Caitlin Menarick, a senior, number 3. Number 11, a senior, Rebecca Baker. Number 15, Paige Frickenstein, a junior. And number 23, a senior, Carla Hapke. So 3 seniors and 2 juniors starting the game for the Knights. On the court first for the Blue Jays, J.C. Fangmeyer, a 5'7" sophomore. Paige Comstock, a 5'6" junior, number 10. Number 22, Olivia Pike, a 5'10" junior.
5'10" junior, number 22, Olivia Pike.
Oh, Emma Keith is wearing number 30, so in the program she says number 15. So that's what had people sideways there for just a little bit. And Bree Shefdor. So Keith is starting. Keith, Pike, Shefdor, Comstock, and Fangmeyer in the game for the Blue Jays. So here we go. Officials again today. Andrew Fitzke and his brother Tyler Fitzke, joined today by Jeremy Foote. These guys will do a really good job, good officiating crew today. So here we go, tipping off the girls' championship, the 2022. Okay, folks, I think we just joined us. I think I failed to turn the volume on for the first entire pregame show. So here we are. The game has started. Welcome to the championship game of the Ashland-Greenwood Holiday Tournament.
We had such a good pregame, too.
Oh, my gosh. It might have been the best information ever shared. So Menarick with the shot. Shefdor saves the rebound out of bounds, but it run down by Menarick.
Well, again, Blue Jays picking up here, and it looks like man-to-man defense.
Man-to-man, yep. That 3 was attempted by Baker. I had to find my program there. I'm shuffling around. I got a little panic there by not having the volume set appropriately. So nice pass down low by Menarick.
Oh, we were good. Renee Kachera just texted us. We were on the whole time.
Okay, good deal. So Paige Frickenstein was on the receiving end of that pass from Menarick. Paige, the 6-foot junior, goes to the line to shoot 2.
I forgot. I always have a job here, don't I? Dang.
Yeah, got to keep those scorebooks, so when I ask you a statistical question, you've got an immediate answer. So remember, we want to keep deflections, offensive efficiency. What else did I ask for?
Oh, yeah, I think I need to call in Andrew Bierman. Can I phone a friend? He was really good at that stuff.
Both free throws go awry. So that foul was on Shefdor, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
so we
correct.
got the right foul. Okay, so here we go. We're getting caught up here. Keith Pike has the ball at the top. Couple of probing dribbles. Kind of dribbled herself into trouble that time. Just need to move that basketball. Get that ball moving side to side. Put as much pressure on Bergan's man-to-man defense as we can.
Nice
Fangmeyer
pass.
drops it off down low.
Oh. Oh, shoot. Up until that point, there was good ball movement from the Blue Jays. Just a couple times we had a little fumble, but
a good time to drive is when you have a kind of an inside-out skip pass like that, too, because the defense is in recovery mode. So not a bad time to drive that time by Pike. Just got maybe bumped out of bounds a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of room there, so you give the defense some credit for shutting her down. All right, the Knights on the attack. That's Bajanski with the ball. Bajanski's dad was a standout basketball player at Midland University back in the day. Tie up down low. Oh, Fangmeyer comes away with it. Blue Jays pushing the ball in transition, kicks it ahead to Comstock. Comstock with a skip to Shefdor. Now we get into some offense. I know one of Coach Hubert's keys for the game today was to cut hard, put as much rim pressure on Bergan on your cuts. Bergan doesn't play an aggressive man-to-man defense like the Blue Jays would employ. They're more of a saggy man-to-man, in part because they've got some size. So they're just going to try to keep their player in front of them and make it hard to score and not give up anything easy. That's going to require some patience, so you're seeing that now. So Coach Hubert the coaches are imploring their girls to keep good spacing and to cut hard. Sometimes that saggy defense makes you want to stand a little bit because you don't feel like there's any gaps there. So they really need to keep that movement going. Shefdor on the wing, looks inside. Pike's trying to post up down low.
It's a good job, Izzy. I was probably supposed to say some of those things in color, but you're doing a good job of that.
Well, you know, sometimes I just got done doing color, so sometimes I do both.
No, see, I wouldn't know those answers, so it's just better that way.
Really a nice steal by Pike. Good effort to make the play there defensively. I like the hustle play. Bergan gets that rebound. I think we're going to have a foul on Shefdor.
And the problem is with that is that's her second.
That is Bree's second personal foul. Can't fault her. She just wasn't a bad play. She's just going for the ball and got that second foul. So Craven enters the game for Fangmeyer. Laughlin will take Shefdor's place. Blue Jays picked up, looks like full court man-to-man.
And we are still scoreless in this first quarter as 3 minutes have ticked away.
Emma Keith matched up with Caitlin Menard. Caitlin Menard, the Northwest Missouri State track recruit. Also daughter of boys coach Ryan Menard.
She could probably pick any sport, I would assume.
Yeah, Caitlin is a very athletic girl. She's overcome a lot of her dad's genetics. And I can say that because he and I are friends way back from college.
Her dad also played basketball in college?
Football.
Football. He was the football
He was a warrior. The Baker girl, her dad was an All-American level player at Midland as well, Adam. Craven, three on the way, nothing but nylon. Number 21, Reagan Craven. But here comes the Knights right back. Menard, nice little pocket, dropping a dime. Drops that dime to Frickenstein for two.
Was Reagan admiring her shot back there or what?
Yeah, maybe, she was enjoying that one. She didn't get back quite, maybe with as much urgency as she needed to there. So, and plus that's to give some credit to Bergan, answered the Blue Jays basket with just one of their own. Foul is going to be on number 23, I believe. 23. Number 23. I'm looking, folks. I really am. Carly Hapke, the 5'7" senior.
That's their first team foul.
Hapke exits as well as Frickenstein into the game for Archbishop Bergan. I can't read the numbers from here. Gilfrey, I believe, Addie Gilfrey, number 22.
Yep, and 5.
Number 5 is Claire Menard, 5'10" sophomore.
And I think Gilfrey picked up that foul. Yep.
22. Keith draws the foul. Keith will go to the free throw line. And again, if you missed yesterday, she shoots free throws with her left hand. She's had a right shoulder issue, so she kind of has trained herself to shoot free throws with her left hand this season. Many of her shot attempts are also with her left hand, but she will shoot with her right hand occasionally.
A little bit hard.
1 for 2. Bajanski bring the ball up after Caitlin Menard pulls down that rebound. Nice defensive pressure, forced the back cut. Blue Jays almost had the steal, picked up by Menard. Gilfrey penetrates, now Bajanski has it on top. Menard thinks about the three.
Wow.
Great drive into the paint, 2-foot plant, really strong move by Caitlin Menard.
That was, great ball movement, and again, there's just quick feet to the ball and everything. Ties it up, 4-4.
Menard made several of those moves yesterday as well in their first round game. So the Blue Jays, again, get back to that focus on really making hard cuts, making it hard on Bergan's defense. Nice skip pass by Comstock. Craven drives the middle, loses it. Picked up by Claire Menard. Bajanski brings the ball across the timeline. The coaches are really imploring Jada Laughlin to try to make it really difficult for Caitlin Menard to get the ball, force a bad shot there, and Keith pulls down the rebound. Fangmeyer runs it down, tries to feed it underneath. Probably would have been out of bounds, but Bergan knocked it out of bounds to finish that. So Blue Jays will keep the ball baseline out of bounds. Frickenstein re-enters the game for Bergan. Feel like somebody else up for Ashland-Greenwood. I kind of lost track of that one. So did Pike come back in?
Pike came back in, yep.
Okay.
Blue Jays doing a nice job of getting back because they always send one player back to fly, and we've always got somebody there. Timeout.
Timeout. Archbishop Bergan. Nate Pribno calls his first timeout. 30-second timeout. So, 4-4, folks. We've had a lot of action in this game for a 4-4 game. But there, again, both teams are really attacking in transition, and both defenses right now have the advantage. I think both teams got to settle in and figure out the best way to attack.
Yeah, and I think that's just it. It's, both teams are subbing girls in, and other than kind of the first couple possessions that you were talking about, spacing and the Blue Jays taking their time trying to get a good shot, that was kind of the only time that we kind of stood still. Up until that point, it has just been a track meet. They're sending a girl on a fast break, and we're sending somebody back to make sure they don't get that easy shot, and we have done that same thing, and I'm tired watching, so I'm really glad that you're doing the play-by-play.
Both these teams have, the 5 starters. We talked about this yesterday with the Blue Jay girls. I think, everybody averages between 5 and 8 points a game. Bergan is really in the same boat. Their leader is 10 points per game, and everybody, it's between 7 and 10, all 5 starters. Kick ahead to Craven. She goes up strong with her left hand, doesn't quite get it to go. Pretty good defense there by number 23, Hapke, to get down there and at least challenge that shot. So give both defenses, again, credit on their transition defense to not give up anything easy. Bajanski has it on top. Comstock harassing her up top. Ball kicked inside to Hapke. Monarch, Caitlin on the right wing. Puts the ball in an excellent bounce pass.
Nice cut.
Anytime you drive baseline, that weak side has to drop low, and give Bergan credit for the cut and give Caitlin Monarch credit for the really good bounce pass and avoiding the travel or the shuffling of her feet when she made that pass. Nice play.
So first time the Knights take the lead of the game, 6-4.
Comstock probes the top, 3 on the way. Fangmeyer in and out off the backboard. That was a triple rimmer right there, Kendra. Really good look. Nice job by Comstock of penetrating and kicking, and a good look by Fangmeyer. She's got to keep shooting that shot. That's what the Blue Jays are looking for.
And stolen away by Craven. And they tried to get, is it Frickenstein we decided? On the inside. She had her player sealed,
15,
but they just, I don't know, they just missed the pass, I
Pike,
guess.
3 on the way.
Not sure if that's the shot we wanted. She's got a great shot, but I just don't know that we were all ready for that, as we're kind of breathing hard.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. You kind of, that's that rhythm of offense. You know it when you feel it, and sometimes you know it when you don't feel it. So Laughlin is really trying to be disruptive for Caitlin Monarch, but Caitlin Monarch's really a strong athlete. Hard to knock her off of her base. Foul this time, I believe it's going to be on Olivia Pike. That's the call, number 22. Pike with her first personal foul.
And Jada is definitely doing her job because, as you said, Caitlin leads them with 12.9 averages, and both Jada and Caitlin are taking a break because they are both breathing so hard because they are working so hard.
Oh, heavens. Really good execution there on the out-of-bounds play.
And that was a hard foul if you're wondering what our was if you're not watching.
Pike gets her second. Always dangerous, when you get 2 fouls early in the game like this.
Yeah, and that's 2 of our post players that have a little bit of foul trouble with Shefdor and Pike. Both have 2 fouls.
So on the floor for the Blue Jays, Pike,
and
Keith,
then we don't have that.
Glock, and Fangmeyer, along with Jada Laughlin. Both free throws are good for Bojanski. She kind of has that look of somebody that doesn't miss free throws very often either.
Let's just kind of see what she is for a free throw shooter.
Keith,
there we go.
3 on the way, as Timmy Washburn would say, bingo for Keith.
The answer we needed.
Big shot, 8-7. As Aiden Washburn would say, it's short time. We got 7 seconds left in the quarter. Jada Laughlin's in a stance, really playing good defense on Bajanski. Inside to Frickenstein. Caitlin Monarch forces one up. I believe it was after the buzzer, but it didn't make any difference anyway. So at the end of one, Blue Jays are trailing the undefeated Archbishop Bergan Knights 8-7 after the first quarter. Kendra, do you have any thoughts after the first?
I would assume, and we do have the scouting report here. I know sometimes Coach Hubert likes to put This is exactly what I wanted. He said, hold opponents to 8 or less points per quarter. How about that?
Hitting his goal.
Talk about
goal,
right on.
Well, how about we have in our production staff, Aiden Rowley. Do you have any thoughts after watching that first quarter? What would you like to? What did you see in that first quarter?
I saw a lot of threes be made. Well, not a lot, but I saw a few threes made, and I just think that we've been doing good shooting.
Okay. And I think that's, even the shots the Blue Jays missed, the threes that they missed, they were good looks, almost went in.
Yeah.
So I think the shot selection, and that's one thing Coach Hubert, he wants them to play with freedom to be able to shoot those threes. And at the same time, he also knows that it's the type of shot, and the better timing of the shot and the better shot you put up, the better chance it has to go in. And I think he was pretty pleased with that yesterday, and I think he's got to be pleased with those, the shot selection today so far overall.
So I think it'll be interesting to see, we've got a couple post players in foul trouble. We haven't seen anything right now from Lauren Gertison, so we'll see if Bergan takes it to some of our post players here. So Keith, though, she's having a heck of a tournament.
Sometimes just the simple thing. She entered the ball kind of that short corner to Laughlin, and she immediately cut to the basket. That was a key with Coach Hubert and the staff, is to really cut hard. Give Laughlin credit, too, for finding Keith on that cut, and Keith finished off the glass. Foul on Keith, I believe. Yep, number 30. That'd be her first personal. Kind of got pinned on this post up. Blue Jays lead by 1, but Jansky comes back in. Will give Claire Menard a little bit of a break. Bergan continues. Really good execution on her out-of-bounds plays. Put a lot of pressure on you. But Jansky for 3. And she gets her own rebound on that long shots, equal long rebounds. And then Bajanski finds Caitlin Menard for 2.
And that was just kind of unfortunate, as Menard just had inbounded and she just kind of hung around the basket and they found her.
Comstock on the left side. Surveys, probes, kicks it out to Keith. Keith dribbles a couple times with her right hand. Probes. Blue Jays are doing a good job squaring up, seeing the rim, trying to see what's there.
Nice
Fangmeyer with a
move.
step through. Good basketball play by J.C. Fangmeyer, just didn't get it to go. Here comes transition. The Blue Jays have to locate. Nice job, Jada Laughlin.
Yep.
Emma Keith, Olivia Pike. Nice job getting back. Frickenstein, she kicks it across to Baker. Bergan swings the ball. Monarch with that gets to what we would call the nail. She gets to that free throw line, lands on 2 feet really strong. And we've got a foul.
I think one of the things, too, that Coach Hubert put on the back of his sheet is, rebounding. The last couple possessions here, that's, and even the first quarter, that's something that we're not doing the best, especially on the offensive side.
If you can't,
Defensive
if
side,
you're
their
trying to hold them
offensive side,
to 8 points per quarter, you don't want to give them second
Yep.
chances to score. That's for darn sure. So that foul was on Fangmeyer, her first. Craven and Schefter re-enter. Pike and Fangmeyer will take a break. Schefter comes in with 2 fouls. Monarch shooting her second of 2. That gives Bergan a 2-point lead. Comstock brings the ball into the front court. Blue Jays start nice flat set. We're going to set some ball screens on the wing, some continuity ball screens. Craven gets to the elbow, kicks it back out to Comstock. Here comes Schefter again with the ball screen. Skip to the opposite corner, followed by a ball screen. So you're going to see now the posts are going to continue this continuity ball screen offense. We're going to pass the ball down. Blue Jays trying to put Bergan in a little bit of a...
Ooh, shoot.
Comstock drives in, gets it knocked away. I believe Baker knocked that away, but Jansky picks it up. Here comes Bergan in transition.
Oh, wow.
Really good pass
Dang.
by Baker
Yep.
to Frickenstein. Good feed. Bergan's doing a nice job getting that ball to that free throw line area, the elbow area. They jump stop and they just make the right play. They either hit the jumper or they find the open player. So nice job by Baker that time finding Frickenstein.
Yep, did a little help defense and then left somebody open there. Blue Jays need to answer here.
3 on the way.
No, too hard.
Nothing but nylon. That's Reagan Craven. Assist to Paige Comstock.
So far, the Blue Jays have been able to answer each time.
Blue Jays with that pick and roll offense allowed Comstock to get to that same free throw line area,
Ooh,
kick
and
it
a
out that
steal.
time.
Oh.
Schefter with a steal. Little feisty on that steal. She was making sure nobody was going to take that away from her, I think, Kendra.
I think so. We don't want her to pick up a third.
No, she doesn't need a third foul like that.
Oh.
Oh, dear. We're tied up. It's a mess. What do we got going?
And it's going to be their
A
basketball.
lot of bodies flying there. So, yep. So, Bree had a nice cut. Good feed inside. Give Bergan credit. They are aggressive on the ball.
And speaking of credit, again, I just got to go back to Jada Laughlin's defense on Monarch right now. Like, oh, my gosh. Like, you know, we talk a lot about, obviously, when you talk about people who score, you say their name. But Jada is sticking to Monarch like glue. So you got to give her a break sometimes because, again, she averages almost 13 points a game. And Jada is doing a nice job. You got to give her a break sometime. Oh, she traveled, didn't she? Oh, and she double dribbled, didn't she? Come on, man. Give us something.
Yeah, sometimes, Kendra, I'm glad these are on actual live video because I don't even know how to explain it sometimes. People can just watch. So I'm not sure how to explain what just happened there. But anyway, Blue Jay basketball. And Bergan will pop into there. Looks like a 2-2-1, kind of a three-quarter court press, a little bit of a nuisance press. Good job by the Blue Jays. Comstock has it up the side. Fangmeyer, she swings the ball over to Craven. Bergan out of that zone press, though, will match up man-to-man.
Oh, Reagan.
And Monarch kind of baited Craven into that turnover and gets the free run out.
What's that? Does Reagan get an assist for that?
She does not.
Oh, just a turnover. Dang it.
That would just be a turnover. Yes.
Because it was a great pass to her, I'm just saying.
The old adage of all steals are turnovers. Not all turnovers are steals, but that one was both. That definitely was a steal and a turnover. Sorry, Reagan. Here comes some more pick and roll continuity. Fangmeyer kicks it across to Comstock. Comstock tries to enter the ball to Keith, and Bergan got a hand on that one again. That's the second time that probably was going to be a Blue Jay turnover that they ended up getting a finger on it. Comes back to the Blue Jays. So Craven will throw it in from baseline, out of bounds.
We got lucky.
Three on the way. Fangmeyer.
Oh, good hustle, Bree.
Shefdor just continues to work a tail off on the board, gets a hand on that one. Goes off Shefdor's hands. Bergan basketball. Blue Jays pick up. Full court, man-to-man.
You know, sometimes I hate to say things because what I say on air, it comes true, but for even two girls, I mean, to have 8 total teams fouled, but for a Bergan team to only have 2 fouls, I'm not saying this lopsided. Like, it's just kind of like some clean basketball.
Yeah. No, they're doing a good job of just getting their hands.
They're just, you know, hands, feet, they're just moving to the ball. You know, a lot of times you'll hear coaches saying, I just don't reach, move your feet. And that's what they do.
Fangmeyer gets her second. And I think, again, it's a little bit of the stylistically. So, again, Bergan is not putting a lot of – they're sagging. They're playing off.
True. Yeah, that's true.
So when we drive in, we're driving into the contact sometimes. And I think that's why our threes have been so open. We just got to make a couple more of those. That will get them to extend a little bit where when we defend, we are up on them. And so there is contact. We would like if they maybe wouldn't call quite as many fouls. We're going to run out of players today if they keep calling this tight.
Yeah, good point.
Laughlin, 3 on the way. Pike with the offensive rebound. Nice pass to Shefdor. Shefdor's looking for a gap. She kicks it out. Comstock kicks over to Laughlin. Laughlin gets to that high post area. 3 on the way.
It's just
good offensive possession, though. We take those looks. Good looks by the Blue Jays. And here comes the Knights. Bajanski kicks down in the corner to Baker. Frickenstein with the ball screen.
looks a lot like the first quarter yesterday.
Well, there we go, Kendra. We said we wanted to let them play, wanted us to let us play a little bit, and they did. So Bajanski, I believe Bajanski's going to get that foul. Number 1.
Yep. Hey, you only have 7. We have 7. Oh, I don't know. I've been moving over to 13 fouls. I'm just making
timeout.
This book really interesting today.
Ashland-Greenwood, I believe, has a 30-second timeout for Coach Hubert.
12 to 15 with just 2 minutes to go. And the crowd is starting to fill in a little bit now. Everybody was just delayed a little bit.
And maybe folks put in a half a day's work today. A lot of times on
That's
on
true.
the New Year's holiday,
Yeah,
usually you don't
that's
get, a lot of people got both Friday and Monday off for Christmas, but many times on New Year's, you get one or the other. If you're working this time of year, you get one day or the other off. So yeah, the crowd is growing. I would say that's true for both Bergan and for Ashland-Greenwood here.
So it'll be Blue Jay basketball.
All right, so on the court for the Blue Jays, Laughlin, Shefdor, Craven, Comstock, and Pike on the side out of bounds. Back to that pick and roll offense for the Blue Jays in the half court. Swings the ball side to side. Ball goes into Pike.
Mismatch, I'd say.
Nice job of Olivia
There you
Pike,
go.
slow playing that, finding the defense first. She did not rush it. She just made a strong move. Fouls on number 23. 23, Carly Hapke for Bergan. Olivia
second.
Pike earns her way to the free throw line and will shoot two. Keith checks in. Shefdor for Shefdor.
First free throw for Pike is good.
Fangmeyer enters and Comstock will take a break.
Gives the Blue Jays 13. I don't have our stats anymore, so I don't know. Second free throw is good for
Somewhere
Pike.
in this pile, I'm sure
I
we've
can't
got
tell
the free
you how
throws.
good of a free throw shooter. Oh,
probably
yeah,
in there
that's
somewhere.
where I put him from yesterday.
All right, Caitlin Menard brings the ball across half court, getting hounded by Jada Laughlin. J.C. Fangmeyer is hounding Bajanski. Pretty good battle out front with the guard play right now. Menard, what a great move and a finish, and I believe Pike's it's either going to be on Pike or Craven. 21, that would be fouls on Reagan Craven. I call that sticking your hand in the cookie jar a little bit. Reagan needs to get her body in front of the basketball when she's helping. She's going to stick her arm out there, and that's usually when you're going to get that N1 foul. Caitlin Menard will go to the line, shooting one. Shefdor with a great box out. She just outfought Bergan for the basketball that time. So Keith pushes the ball up the floor, pushes up the right wing to Craven. Three on the way.
Oh,
Frickenstein pulls down that rebound. Here comes the Knights in transition. Bajanski pushes. Right wing to Menard. Ball screen by Claire Menard. Bajanski has it up top. Three on the way.
box out, White. Oh, there we go. Hang on to it. Should be White basketball.
Fangmeyer gets your hand on that one. The tie-up by Menard. But yes, possession arrow to Ashland-Greenwood. 49 seconds left in the half. We've got substitutions. Pike's in, Shefdor is out. Comstock came in for Craven.
I would
Along
probably
with
hold for one
Laughlin,
shot.
Fangmeyer, and Keith on the floor. I think if you could get one early in the clock here, but if you get down to probably that 25 to 30 range and you haven't gotten something, then I would bet they probably would hold for the last one. Bergan does have the next possession, so you never want to give them two in a row if you can help it. Back cut by Comstock. That's good back cut. That's the kind of cut that the Blue Jays are looking for. Being very patient here. Clearly going to try to get the last one. 20 seconds. Laughlin on the right wing. Good curl cut by Fangmeyer. Laughlin probes. Pike has it at the top. Keith squares up. We got 10.
Nice move, Jada.
Jada
Yes.
Laughlin with the cross step takes
Nice.
Baker to the basket. Jada with a strong finish at the rim. And the Blue Jays get that final basket of the half. Trail
Wow.
the undefeated Bergan Knights 16 to 17.
My foot is sleeping. And again, Coach Hubert wanted them to hold them, the Bergan Knights, within 8, and they did it again. That's why we didn't see Brooksy up here, because he had a messenger this time for ankles taped. So we're going to
Commercial break to go tape it.
commercial break to tape ankles, and we'll get Mark Adell's stats. And we'll get Coach Scheil up here to talk about the next matchup coming up. And again, at the half, the Blue Jays just trail by 1 to the Fremont Bergan Knights. 16-17. Right after this game, the Ashland-Greenwood boys will take on the Fremont Bergan Knights in the championship also of the holiday tournament. For scoring, right now, Emma Keith leads the Blue Jays with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Craven has 6, Laughlin 2, Pike 2. And for Bergan, we've got Bajanski with 2, and Monarch with 2, 4, 6, 8 possibly, and Frickenstein with 6, and Guilfrey with 2. And then we'll get Mark Adell's stats. But now joining us is Ashland-Greenwood assistant coach Jordan Scheil, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about their upcoming game against the Fremont Bergan Knights. So what's the game plan?
Game plan will be to just come out and play our game, play solid basketball, and just hopefully take care of things.
I will be honest, I didn't watch them play at all yesterday. So I think it was a pretty close game with them and Ron Colley.
Yeah, it was.
And so I don't know exactly what it all came down to in the end. Here, you want to switch around with Aiden? I think, was it a 6-point game that it came down, or was it pretty close?
It was pretty close down the stretch. Ron Colley just kind of struggled to shoot the ball in from the outside, so Bergan kind of packed in a zone and just allowed him to shoot threes, and Ron Colley didn't capitalize on those, so that's kind of what the game came down to, I think.
Okay. So, I see, Coach Monarch has been here, and he's obviously a very seasoned coach, and I can see him even watching his daughters up there, and shouting from the stands, so obviously he's going to have a very strong scouting report against us today, too. So what do you think they're going to do against us?
I think they'll probably come out and have a lot of different things available and kind of at their disposal. So, yesterday they came out in a zone. I think yesterday, we shot it pretty well. So
I'd say so.
I'm sure they'll have a zone of some sort ready for us. But then, I'm sure they have some sort of man in their back pocket too, that if we shoot the ball well today, that they have something to go to and gives our kids another thing to adjust to and just gives them a different look.
How many players do they typically play?
They're going to have a little bit smaller of a bench than us. So we play 8 guys usually, consistently.
Yeah.
They're going to probably be like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So you'd like to think that our depth, our kids can come off the bench and hopefully provide us a spark and have some good energy and things like that and really give us a boost. And then as the game goes on, our depth hopefully kind of, plays in our favor.
Yeah. And if you need any kind of trick play, you can always turn around to Coach Scudler's dad up here, and maybe he can run something down to you guys. Is that kind of what in case you need anything? Or
we'll take any help that we can get.
Yeah,
so, we'll keep that as an option.
Yeah, and maybe if your mom's ever here too, I don't know. She's probably busy coaching, but we can always get a trick play from your mom if she's ever here too. Whatever we need.
Any
right?
help we can get, we'll take.
Yeah, we'll talk. So. I'll let Tim in, too.
Listen, and I only came up here because Kendra said, get on up here, because she was doing an awesome job.
She was.
But I just talked to Tyler Craven over here, one of your assistants, your colleagues. He said, look, this might be the most skilled team that you guys played as far as their big men go.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got your attention. So talk a little bit about that. And if I'm repeating it, I apologize.
No,
Trust me, you're not repeating anything.
Yeah, their bigs are going to be pretty solid. They'll be good around the rim. You can use both hands, things like that. They're going to run a ball screen offense and really look to get the ball from one post to the other. And it's called a duck in, so they're going to look to go from one post to the other, hopefully steal our guys deep and get good position. So, down the stretch, the teams that we got coming up, this could be a good preparation for us. We know Auburn's going to have some good bigs. So, going out there and facing the challenge and hopefully, owning up to it will be important for us today.
And that's the other thing he talked about that you just kind of segued in, is that this is really the first offense you've seen all year where they want to pound it inside. They're going to post up on the block, and a little bit different than maybe what you guys have seen.
Yeah, I think first game of the year, Arlington ran a similar offense for us, but they're younger still and maybe don't have as experienced of athletes at this point. So it's just going to be kind of that, just, kind of building on that too. It'll be a tough challenge. And just something that we don't typically see around here. We see a lot of good guards that play around the perimeter and things like that, and it's going to be the opposite of that today.
Yeah, and listen, Kendra mentioned Coach Milnark, and I know you know him, and wow, what a game he coached yesterday. I thought they did an awesome job. When you go up against a team coached by him, what's that like?
I think they're just going to be well prepared, and they're going to have a lot of things at their disposal. So we talked about how they're going to probably have a zone of some sort ready for us, whether that's a 2-3 or a 3-2. But then they'll probably have some man in their back pocket as well to kind of throw at us, and it's going to be constantly a different look. So it'll be up to our guys to identify what the defense is, and then how do we attack that to get the best looks possible for our team.
And then the only other thing I have for you is that the rumor is you didn't come up yesterday. Can we get this? These are Elliot's little pretzels that he made, and we heard the only reason you came up today was to try to get your hands in it.
Had to. Thank you.
They're amazing. Elliot's not only good at the pictures, but he can cook too. Did you get any, Kendra?
No, I haven't. But you know what? Speaking of baking, you know what else I remember after that is Grandma Elaine's. Oh, she used to bring cinnamon rolls from when she used to own the bar.
Yeah, and all of a sudden those don't come around anymore. I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh, man.
I would still take those.
I would still take those. That was like 20 years ago.
Well, listen, I'm never turning down a cinnamon roll, I can tell you that. And these will be gone by the end of the day right here, Elliot.
That's right.
So, hey, good luck today.
Thanks.
Go get that championship.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Coach Child.
We got Mark Adele. I'll let you
got
take
Mark
it away,
Adele
Kendra.
with the stats.
Okay, I'll start with the reason first why we're still in the game, the turnover column. It's at 5 apiece.
Nope.
Something that you would not have expected as a pressure of the Bergan, that we've taken good care of the ball. And also, there is a player named Reagan Craven that is 2 for 2 from 3. It helps. But the overall shooting percentages, we're 5 of 16 for 31%. We are 3 of 9 from 3, though, 33%. We are 3 of 4 from the line, 75%. They are 7 of 18 from the field for 39%, but they've not made a 3 in 5 attempts, and they're just 3 of 8 from the line. So those are factors, too. They are killing us on the boards, 15 to 8. They've got 5 offensive, we've got 1 offensive. But I'll tell you, that Caitlin Molnaric is as good a girls rebounder as I have seen. If that's one thing her dad taught her, it's that.
That is for sure. Thank you very much, Mark. We appreciate you. So, Brad, to catch you up on some of the stats as you come back from your other job, other duties as assigned. Is that how that works? We both just have 5 turnovers. Wow, that's impressive. But they are out rebounding us 15 to 8. So that was probably the biggest difference right now in the game.
Yeah, and I don't know that Bergan necessarily converted a lot of those rebounds as points, but it probably is responsible for 4 or 5 of our team fouls too. And so, if you get into this game a little deeper and foul trouble does become an issue, that certainly could be a part of it, and they are. I think that's our coaches were very wise on there. That's one of their number 1 keys overall is rebounding, and certainly that's been a problem for the Blue Jays today. And that just takes a lot of effort. They just got to play every shot like it's a miss. So, good half overall for the Blue Jays.
And good half overall for the Blue Jays. And again, we talked about, just what Coach Hubert asked on his game plan for his girls was to keep them at 8 or under. And so far they have done that each quarter as we go to start the second half with the score 16-17. Blue Jays just trailing by 1.
Yeah, in the first half, the Blue Jays are without the services today of Lauren Gertis, and she kind of tweaked her knee a little bit yesterday, I believe.
Yep.
And she's dressed and she did warm up. Was not moving at full capacity in warm-ups, and I think they just made the decision. And we do have a trainer on staff today. Actually, Omaha Roncalli's trainer is we're paying her to hang around and help out a little bit. So I don't know if she saw the trainer or not. I didn't get any type of medical report, but they're just being cautious things. So anyway, Lauren has not played for the Blue Jays, and obviously she's been a major part of the team as well. So You got to step up. So the Blue Jays look like they lined up here in a 2-3 zone to start the second half.
Now they're kind of looking to see, okay, now what are we going to do? Nice defense there. First of all, the Blue Jays all collapsed on Frickenstein there.
You know, Bergan starts out the half there that have the ball in the hands of Bajanski, Frickenstein, and Monarch. Right off the bat, you take your best 3 players and involve them in a decision making. So really good job by Ashland-Greenwood. Now Ashland-Greenwood is in a man-to-man. So I don't know if that was just a little bit of window dressing by Coach Huber to take away the look of that opening play that they probably expected. Bajanski backs her way in and gets a foul. I believe it's going to be on Comstock.
Yeah. Just her first.
I don't know, that scorekeeper down there, Jeremy had that up on the board before it was actually reported. That's all programmed in. He'd have had a mess if he'd had to take that off of there. So, Bajanski misses her first one.
Bajanski usually a 58% free throw shooter, but
what were the free throw totals in the first half since I missed this statistical?
I knew you would ask that. There's Andrew when you need him.
Misses the second one. Keith goes coast to coast. No good. Rebound pulled down by Frickenstein, outlet to Bajanski. Ahead to Monarch. Monarch feeds it. Left-handed bounce pass is kicked by Shefdor, but just the fact that you have the wherewithal to be able to throw a left-handed bounce pass is pretty impressive.
I got lots of scribbles in my book. I could figure it out, but. Rebound.
The Knights got the ball into Monarch on the out-of-bounds play. The Blue Jays walled up, made that shot difficult, didn't give up on the play. Now Comstock pushes the ball ahead. Back to that ball screen, continuity offense. Keith is probing, puts it up with the left hand, misses. Pulled down by Frickenstein.
Hoping to get fouled. You know, I will say one thing Bergan does not do is when we get into the lane, they don't do a lot. What a lot of times teams do is bail you out when you're in the lane. They don't do that.
Very good point. They just wall up, make the shot tough. And I think and Keith has had a couple there. She's gotten into the basket, just not able to finish.
Yep. That's going to be Ashley. Well, good luck. Ashley's playing again. Did you know that?
I did not know that
she
Ashley
came
was
back for her
again, so.
7th year.
Olivia Pike picks up her third. Frickenstein, a 6-foot junior. That pick and roll, they just literally, the ball is just thrown up in the air, but Frickenstein is long and athletic and can really jump. They just throw it up to her to let her go get it. Monarch misses, gets her own rebound. Putback is missed, and she ties up Shefdor for the second one. I think this should be
Ashland
Blue Jay ball.
And again, the rebounding is, I think, they got 2 there.
Yep.
Which has been a big difference in the game that Blue Jays need to take care of. Luckily, again, like you mentioned, though, they're not scoring off of them, but.
And I think part of the factor, too, is, Bergan's shots, most of their shots are within 4 or 5 feet of the basket, so they are in good position. If they do miss, they don't have to go very far to get their rebounds. But the Blue Jays really have to be more physical on those rebounds because, in tight quarters like that, they're going to have to do a better job. Keith is probing, goes back to that left hand. Tried to draw a foul there. I'm not sure. Maybe in college they would call that a little bit of a flop. She might get a flop warning in college nowadays. So.
Now Craven called for that foul.
A little bit late on cutting her off at the basket and got the bump. Oh, Reagan, that's a lane violation. So if you're a novice at home, like maybe the guy that wanted 3 seconds when the ball was out of bounds yesterday, once the ball is passed to the free throw shooter, everybody has to stay put. And Craven stepped in the lane there. Had she missed it, that shot would have been redone. Because she made it, it's a play on.
Who's shooting free throws? I can't see
I believe
the
that's
number.
Baker, number 11.
Okay.
Rebecca Baker, the 5'9" senior.
Those are her first 2 points of the game, I believe. And actually, that's the first 2 points of the second half.
Another young lady with some Midland lineage. Her dad, Adam, was a basket. I know some of these guys from my experience as a Midland basketball player, but Adam was a very good player at Midland as well. Menard putting the pressure on Laughlin. Laughlin gets to that nail area, which where you want the ball offensively. Fangmeyer on the left wing.
Did they all make like some kind of pact that we're gonna like all have girls at the same time and get them all at the same high school?
Probably the value of one of the values of having a small college town is people will settle there, right?
Yeah.
So I think the Baker family, I believe, has some tradition in Fremont. But a lot of times people go to college someplace and they get jobs and they put roots down. So pretty good defense there by Gilfrey, knocking Comstock off the cut on that out-of-bounds play. Good screen by Craven. Nice curl cut by Laughlin. Bajanski digs in there and gets that jump ball. So it looked like a promising offensive possession there, just a little bit better defensive play by Bajanski. Give credit where credit's due. Hapke and Gilfrey enter the game for Bergan. Blue Jays in the full court. Nope, looks more like a 1-2-2 zone trap, more like a zone trap now. Just give a little bit different look. We get a tip. Comstock, Laughlin on the steal. Takes
wow.
Another outstanding play. What hands by Bajanski to not give up on a play. And Laughlin gets the blocking foul. So this game very similar, starting as this first half where the fouls were 7-1 early, and now we're at 4-1 already. And again, all the fouls that they've called on Ashland-Greenwood have been fouls.
Yeah. We're just there. We're just leaning into them with our body. We just got to, just move our feet.
Well, that's the hard part about basketball. Sometimes yesterday, our girls were allowed to be physical, and they didn't really call a lot of those bumps as much as they have today. And that's the biggest challenge all the time with officiating is you have to make the adjustment.
Yeah.
So you can't complain about it because, when there's a bump, by rule, it is a foul. 3 on the way. Rebound pulled down by Pike. Good, strong. I might argue that might be called a foul, but again, Pike did a good job of sticking with the play. Comstock ran it down. Dave Hubert will call a timeout. I believe he's going to get a full timeout here. So Blue Jays are struggling offensively here a little bit. But again, it's a 16-19 game, so it's a one-possession game, and they're making it really difficult on Bergan to score as well.
Yeah, so we just have had the two points scored this half just at the free throw line, and that's all. A little bit different than yesterday when we put up 56 points. But again, totally different types of teams, totally different types of game and strategy, and so you just have to adjust completely.
Let's get a rundown maybe of the fouls on Ashland-Greenwood. What kind of foul trouble? What are we looking at?
So we've got Fangmeyer has 2, Comstock 1, Laughlin 1, Keith has 1, Craven 2, Pike has 3, and Schefdor has 2.
All right, so that's could be a factor. It's slowed down here a little bit, but again, Ashland-Greenwood needs to get back. And right now, I think a lot of we're getting the ball in the paint, getting some nice things, but just a lot of tip balls, and Bergan's just kind of taken out of our hands a little bit. So we just got to. Ashland-Greenwood needs to really toughen up with the ball in the paint and finish those baskets and/or get fouled. If you're a little stronger, you might get to the foul line yourself. When you're having a hard time scoring, sometimes drawing a foul, get to the foul line is one of the most important things you can do. Craven will send it in. Blue Jays run their box side out of bounds play. Get that thing into Pike. Hand off back to Craven as she comes in from out of bounds. Craven kicks it back out to Pike. Pike probes. Good kick out, Laughlin. 3 on the way. Fangmeyer fights Menard and fight for it, and I believe it's Blue Jay basketball.
Yep.
Another good shot.
Way more jump balls this half. I think this is number 4 or 5.
Another good shot. I like Fangmeyer mixing it up a little bit with Menard. Good look by Laughlin. Laughlin hit 2 threes in a row yesterday. We're hoping for a little bit of that magic today.
Right
good
there. That's her
play.
spot. She's just on the wrong side.
Laughlin
nice
Yep.
Good drive.
A little bit of a delayed call.
Yeah.
Eddie Gilfrey gets the foul call there. Laughlin goes to that foul line to shoot 2. Occasionally, and this happens a lot at the college game, they're actually taught to do this, officials, to let the play out. And if the shot's missed, then you'll hear kind of what feels like a late whistle. If the shot's made, they may just let it play on. And you don't see it a lot in high school, but the more referees work different levels, the more that kind of trickles down. that might have been one of those plays, or it could have just been some indecisiveness, so go either way.
Well, hey, they're actually doing exactly what you just talked about. They're getting to the free throw line.
All right, Blue Jays jump into that 1-2-1-1 diamond press, trying to get a tip, trying to disrupt Bergan's offense so they can't just come down and execute what they want. Menard up the sideline to Baker. Baker throws into Frickenstein.
Oh.
Good organized approach by Coach Pribno's team there. They threw the ball up the sideline. I'm a big proponent of passing up the sideline against the zone press. Got the ball into Frickenstein because there's no backside help when you're spread out. Keith, the long 2. And Comstock runs it down. Comstock gets into the lane, kicks it out to Laughlin. Laughlin drives baseline.
There we go.
And there's a foul on I believe it's going to be on Baker.
No, just Baker's first, I believe. Yep.
Blue Jays will throw it in from baseline out of bounds. We go 1-4 low. All players lift. We got a cross screen to Pike, and Comstock is a little screen the screener action. Comstock did a great job of meeting the pass, so that wasn't a turnover. Keith, a decisive move, leans in, gets the foul on Hapke, the 5'7" senior, number 23.
And that, I believe, is her third.
Hapke exits. Claire Menard replaces her. The Blue Jays now double stack at the elbow on the out-of-bounds play.
Nice move by Comstock.
Every girl can handle the ball that time. Did a really good job of squaring up. So Blue Jays back into the diamond press, trying to speed up the Knights. Bajanski brings it across the timeline. Unable to keep her in the trap. Nice play by Bajanski. Frickenstein kicks up to Menard.
That was Comstock's first points of the game. But clearly she does a lot of other things, as we talked about yesterday. Defensively, offensively, handles the ball for the Blue Jays. Oh. They're going to give that to JC? Yes.
Yep, fouls on Fangmeyer. I like Menard being decisive. Her team needs a bucket here, and she just goes and posts up, makes a really strong move to the rim, gets herself to the free throw line. Craven re-enters for Fangmeyer. Fangmeyer's got, did you say 3 fouls? Is that what you
yes.
just said? Three fouls on J.C. Fangmeyer. She will exit.
Caitlin normally is a 76% free throw shooter, but she has not done that from the line today.
You know, one of the things that, Caitlin plays a lot of minutes too. And
yes.
I think, you wonder 2 days in a row, and she carries a pretty heavy load, and our girls have made her work really hard. Maybe she's getting a little bit leg weary at this point, which is natural when you haven't played and get 5 days off. And I don't know what their situation was weather-wise. They may have had 7 days off with that weather system that came through. So.
And you're right. Typically, we don't play a lot of back-to-back basketball games.
Yep. I think Laughlin will get the foul here. Foul on Laughlin, her second personal. Blue Jays hang in this diamond press. No, we might be back to full court man-to-man here. Yep, man-to-man. Coach Hubert's given the signal he wants Jada Laughlin to face guard Caitlin Menard to try to not allow her to even touch it if possible. So Bergan's going to execute their offense. They're trying to get the ball into Frickenstein. Blue Jays defense has them spread out. Bajanski has it stolen away by Keith. Bajanski gets back, and Frickenstein with a great hustle. Yeah. Bajanski, after the turnover, you always admire a kid when they make a mistake. She did not give up on a play. Bajanski hustled back, cut off Keith before she could get to the basket. Keith did get a shot off, and you also give Frickenstein credit. She was below, she was down at the block as she got all the way back to block that shot. Thanks, because back cut by Bajanski. Craven with a nice bounce pass. Almost snuck it in there. We got a jump ball, and
it'll be ours.
Or do they call a kick? Oh, yeah, okay. No, must have been a jump ball. Okay. Alternating possession to the Blue Jays. Craven.
Jump ball,
set to enter the ball again. Box set. Shefdor enters the game for Keith. Coach Huber probably likes us, giving away his plays on, calling his plays out for him. So to help the next team that's scouting.
Huh.
Pike, good strong drive, gets on 2 feet, draws the foul from Baker, and Pike will go to the line for 2.
Okay, so is everyone, because everything is just completely switched, is everyone getting a little tired now? So we're just, fouling and reaching more, or are we driving to the bucket more and drawing more fouls, or what has changed?
Well, I think right now, what's happened to the Blue Jays are when they get to the basket, they're landing on 2 feet and going up strong. They're not just trying to throw it up there. And when they go off, you go off one leg and try to throw it up, you tend to not get foul calls. Now we're getting the call. So here's that kind of sideline look. Claire Menard. So the Blue Jays were in that diamond press again. Bergan made pretty quick work of that. And Menard gets to the rim. Timeout, Coach Pribno. We're going to have a full timeout. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go in the third. Bergan, 8-0. Fremont Archbishop Bergan leads the 2-4 Blue Jays, 23-22. I can't wait, because I know Aiden Rowley. I'm going to set him up here. By the end of the quarter, he's going to have some really good stuff to share with us about his perspective at the end of the quarter. So, Aiden, you better be making some good notes here. Just make sure you're awake over there.
I think you did just wake him up. I think that was it. I just saw him come alive. And I was just about to say that the Blue Jays took the lead for the first time in this quarter, and it only lasted about 10 seconds. I didn't even have a chance to say that, and it switched.
Yeah, and it switched when they started to get to the free throw line, and then that created some things. So, I think they need to. They've really had some pretty good possessions. Bergen's defensively is just really good. It's hard to score.
So we will see what happens. It'll be Blue Jay basketball out of this timeout. There's 1 minute and 6 seconds to go.
Little game reset. 6 team fouls on Ashland-Greenwood, 5 on Archbishop Bergan. Next possession will go to Archbishop Bergan, and both teams have 3 timeouts left. So this one's going to come down to the wire. And folks, if you like timeouts and commercial breaks, you'll love it. Other than there's no commercial breaks because there's no commercials. Mm-hmm. Blue Jays swinging around, looked like they're trying to post up Pike against. So the referee's making the tip signal. I don't know who clearly he tipped off of Claire Benaric. Laughlin heads out. Keith back in the game. Pike comes to the basketball. All right, here come the Blue Jays. That first possession, they looked like they were kind of going 4 out, 1 in. Now they're back to what Coach Hubert calls the 5 game. It's the open post, and that's why you open the post, is just try to get that open driving angle. Pike did a nice job of going to her left. Frickenstein is just so long, she's hard to shoot over the top. Both her and Pike are kind of limping down the court a little bit. They both hit the ground pretty hard. Bajanski moves the ball on top to Menard. Menard gets them organized.
13 seconds. 7 seconds.
Menard takes a look at the
good
clock.
job.
Great defensive play. Bajanski with another. Bajanski, does she just make little plays all the time,
yes,
man? She's always in the right spot. Menard takes a look up at the clock, throws it up to Frickenstein. Olivia Pike made a great defensive play to knock that thing away. Looks like Blue Jays are going to hold the possession. All of a sudden, Bajanski. By the way, her dad's nickname was Fly, so just because he was not quick. And, Bajanski there just about made a play right there at the buzzer to get that shot up.
Makes a little bit of sense, yeah.
Instead, we got the Blue Jays are hanging tough with the undefeated Archbishop Bergan Knights, just like we did a year ago when that championship game went into overtime.
It looks a little bit like it's coming out. Now, did Bajanski's dad, or am I thinking of somebody else? Did one of their dads ref, or does ref, or did some refing?
Bajanski's dad, yep. Ryan was a longtime referee. Summers' dad, Ryan, was a referee. So.
Okay. So we will see how this comes out. I think, each team has some players now in foul trouble. I mean, with 3 fouls, we have Fegmeyer with 3, Pike with 3, Chef Doris just stayed with that 2. They have Gilfrey, who comes off the bench with 3, and Hapke with 3.
We got the paparazzi taking pictures of us right now.
Don't we have to he's got to pay for those.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd think. I mean, he was talking about, he told me I had an agent the other day that he was negotiating with. I didn't even know I had an agent.
And you know what?
So.
You didn't go to Aiden's.
Shepdor with the defensive play on the wing. Great denial. And guess who gets back on defense, though? But this time,
Got her for a foul.
Bajanski Summer gets the foul. Great denial defense by Bree Shepdor. One thing I've learned about watching, you're never going to have to worry about Bree Shepdor giving you 6,000% effort.
Yeah.
That girl is a competitor. The flex cut on the out-of-bounds play. Keith has it on the wing. Comstock again. Those plays right there, she meets the pass. Otherwise, Monarch's dunking the ball at the other end. That's what I would call a fight song turnover. But prevented because Comstock does the little things and meets the passes. Fangmeyer has the ball. She moves the ball to the right wing. Comstock saves it.
Oh, no.
And then launches one too high for Keith.
Don't worry, Aiden. We didn't forget about you.
Coach Hubert's a little head scratching down there.
We're just giving you a little more time.
Fangmeyer exits. She has 3 fouls. Am I correct on that?
Yes, she does.
Pike.
No, yes.
Pike with 3 and Fangmeyer with 3. Blue Jays in the diamond press. There's that long sideline pass. Bergan instantly looks up the sideline. And they're trying to get the ball into Frickenstein. Blue Jays had a better job of rotation. Summer Bajanski up top, moves it off to the left side. Caitlin Monarch. Monarch down to the corner to Hapke.
Oh.
Hapke, 3 on the way.
Oh,
And Pike, another great job. We talked about rebounding, and Olivia has really done a good job of rooting out and carving out some space for her against Frickenstein.
Oh, nice move by Pike there. Oh, and
Frickenstein blocks the shot. Kenner, she's got some long arms.
She does.
Frickenstein really makes it difficult. That's probably what makes her a good middle in volleyball.
Yes, it
does
does.
that too.
that was another late whistle. But okay. Is that going to put them out the line? Yep. So Comstock's second, and they're going into the bonus.
1-1 for Summer Bajanski. The lefty knocks down the first one. The Knights lead by 2. As it's been pretty much the whole game, it's still a one-possession game, though, even if she makes this one. The Blue Jays are right there. Bajanski.
And we'll see if the Blue Jays can answer here.
I got a feeling free throws might end up being a fairly important part of this game as it goes down the stretch. Blue Jays running a little set play here, trying to get the ball inside. Olivia Pike, 3 on the way.
Get it. Rebound. Good
Shepdor
job.
kept alive by Keith, but Shepdor gets it. And run down by Hapke, saved. Comstock puts it up.
Come on. There we go.
What a hustle play.
There's some big rebounds
There,
there.
I think 5 players on the ground during that play going after that ball. Both teams. I think we had great save by Hapke, another great save by Monarch. We had the effort by Shepdor. What we're talking about here.
I think they're trying to figure out who the foul was
Foul's on 11.
So Baker.
11, that's wrong. She was nowhere even near the play. I think the foul was actually on Bajanski.
Look at her. She's
yeah,
like.
she's incredulous because I think she was on the other side of the paint.
She has no idea what's going on.
So one of the nightmares of being an official is that right there, when you don't know who. Okay, so now they've corrected it, which interesting
So
how that played out. I think
So they're not giving it to Baker, but so then I have no idea who it is.
So the foul was on number 1, Summer
Oh.
Bajanski. So now that's going to mess
Okay.
up poor Jeremy and his scoreboard controller down there. That's automatically updates, and now it's going to be wrong. So again, guess who? Bree Shepdor gets the offensive rebound.
Okay, well
This one is on number 11, so now we're back to it.
So now he's
if he just puts this one on number 1, it should be good to go down there.
He did, and he actually did. I saw it pop up really fast.
So that all worked out. So that foul was on Baker. Shepdor now goes to the line to shoot 1-1 for the Blue Jays. Shepdor ripped that ball away from Monarch on that offensive rebound. And now she's got a chance at the free throw line.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh, no. Do you remember saying that you feel like free throws are going to be very
Free
important
throws
in this game?
and then fouls, and just so I don't. To see 3 free throws and the clock moved 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Or 3 fouls and the clock moved 3 seconds.
And not hit one of them.
That foul is on Pike. That is her 4th personal foul, so she will exit at the 6:03 mark of the 4th quarter in this one-possession game. Hannah Keith. Not Hannah Keith. She can't play anymore
I
either.
know.
It's
You know, her
Emma.
and Ashley.
Emma Keith would enter the game, so. Frickenstein. So just, again, a little note of record. Blue Jays missed the front end of 2 1-1s there, and now that would be with Frickenstein. If she makes this one, that'd be 4 straight for the Knights. And that lead will balloon to 5. And that might be the first day. We haven't even been at 5 for a long time.
No, I don't think we have been at all. Oh, wait. Where are we going? Well, we're at 6 just magically. Bring it on back there, Jeremy. I think it's.
He's got Dan Valley down there next to him. Dan's going to do some calculus and figure out that I believe 25 plus 2 is 27.
Yeah. Oh, he'll get. Yep, and then you got my husband over here just correcting him as if it's
there's
not
always
stressful
somebody
enough.
there's always going to be somebody that's going to tell the scorekeeper. And guess Laughlin with a great drive, but Frickenstein just continues to change the game.
I wonder how many block shots she has. Oh, no, and we left Frickenstein open on the baseline. Oh, and the Blue Jays are just kind of falling apart right now.
Frickenstein with the basket, and now I still think it's probably 29-22.
Yeah, I believe it is, too. According to my book, which is so
Jeremy's
accurate.
got it right. 30-second timeout. Coach Hubert.
Wow, and just like that.
Frickenstein has, 2 free throws, a basket, and 3 block shots in the last minute and a half.
And again, that just changes things so fast that we have not scored the 4th quarter. And, yeah.
You know, I gave Aiden Rowley almost 3 extra minutes to come up with something really.
Come on, Aiden.
So, Aiden Rowley, what thoughts do you have about how this game is playing out here?
I think we're doing a good job drawing fouls from the other team.
Yep.
It's the last half is only like 4, 5 fouls. So I think we're doing good on that part.
Now we just got to make those free throws, don't we? I think that's very astute. I think, and that our girls have done a better job of being strong at the basket, and we're getting those calls. That's very good. So, all right, Blue Jays now trail by 7. This is kind of feels like one of those moments where you kind of feel like you got to get a bucket just to keep that game into that 1 or 2 possession look. So we're at a 3 possession game right now. Laughlin looks, she drives in. Now they got to think about Frickenstein's back there somewhere because she's really changed the game with her defensive shot blocking. Pike looks for it, drives in, kicks it opposite corner. Laughlin, 3 on the way.
Spot, Laughlin. Oh. We
just
executed
short.
it.
Rebound by Menarek, and here comes Summer Bajanski leading the Knights up the court.
And it'll be interesting to see what they do here, if they take their time a little bit or if they just go right for another bucket. Getting the biggest lead they've had the whole game.
Gilfrey loses it. She's able to recover it and throw it off to Summer Bajanski. Summer, 2 dribbles with the left hand, kicks it over to Menarek. Good extra pass. It's Baker, 3 on the way.
Oh, wow. Good job. That's why you always got to get position on those rebounds. And Bree Sheffield, she did.
She did a nice job of staying in front of Menarek. And just the fact that Menarek grabbed that thing shows the strength of her hands, too. That was a heck of a rebound.
Well, and, again, we talked about just the way you play defense and your spacing and the way you move your feet. And, it's, halfway through the 4th quarter, and that is Menarek's first foul.
First foul.
And it's not like that girl she is in everything. She's leading in rebounds.
She's mixed. Yeah, she mixes it up for sure.
Nice.
Shefdor knocks down the front end. 29-23. Blue Jays get that back to a 2-possession game.
That's a good free throw.
Got it. Keith will check in the game. Substitution here. Shefdor comes out. This allows the Blue Jays to set up that diamond press. Referee's trying to get the cheerleaders to move back, and they are not paying any attention to him anyway. So I don't know why they're not really in the way, but whatever. Bajanski up the middle, kicks it off to Menarek, down low to Frickenstein, and it's fouled by Keith. It's a tough spot here for the Blue Jays. They need to press to get things sped up, but the Knights are with two good guards like Menarek and Bajanski, and then they could have a target like Frickenstein to throw the ball to. They are really a tough team to press. Frickenstein, that's her third in a row. If she hits this one, that'll be 6 in a row for the Knights in the fourth quarter.
Typically only a 23% free throw
well,
shooter.
She hasn't even, those don't even look like they're remotely close to not going in, do they? Good rotation. Frickenstein's older brother is a player at Nebraska Omaha, men's basketball player. He was a standout player in high school, played in a couple state finals for the Knights. Pike with a long two, and she's got it.
Yay.
Olivia Pike. Blue Jays cut it to 5. Here comes the press. Bajanski kicks it ahead to Menarek. Menarek throws it. Keith might get it.
Get it. Oh, good.
Comstock saves it. Get on the floor.
Hold it.
That should be a foul. Pike gets on the floor. That really should be. Wow. Usually the rule states when you dive for the ball and take somebody's legs out, that is supposed to be an automatic foul. So that should have been a foul on the Knights. Olivia had all rights to the ball and got her legs taken out from underneath her. Bergan ends up getting that loose ball and then gets the timeout because
so
they had
came
possession.
Up with it?
They came up with it, not even a jump. That was just they got possession and coach called a timeout.
See, I looked down to see whose possession it was, and so clearly I missed all of that. Huh. And we still have 3.5 minutes to go.
So the one thing about, again, if the Blue Jays can make Bergan at least play faster and shoot it early or get a tip like that, at least that doesn't allow them just to execute and hammer the ball inside to Frickenstein, which is a hard thing for us to stop right now. She's a really good player. So it does at least speed up that game a little bit, which we need. We need to make sure we get some more possessions here. So little game reset. Bergan both teams now will shoot 2 on all fouls. The Knights have 9, so their next foul, Blue Jays will be shooting 2. So every free throw from here on out
big time.
will be 2 shots. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Next possession will go to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have a shot here, down 5, 31-26. Knights basketball, side throw-in, right in front of the Bergan bench. A lot of years of experience. Coach Hubert with over 20 years of experience coaching, and another several years, probably closer to 30 years as his role as an assistant at Gretna under the legendary Jerome Scudler. Summer Bajanski. Blue Jays are hoping for a 5 count. In the old days, that would have been a double dribble, but now it's not intentional. Foul on Schefter as they enter the ball into Frickenstein. And again, all free throws will be 2 shots from here on out. So I'm going to mention again Frickenstein, yet she's just been draining these free throws. Maybe we'll get the broadcaster jinx and give the Blue Jays a chance.
There we go. There's one. And you had mentioned Jerome Scudler. He's actually in the crowd today.
He is in the house. Jerome and Darcy's son Nate is an assistant coach, the reserve coach for the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays boys program. They're here to watch the championship game.
You could have
so
announced
Bergan
the free
misses
throws
their
earlier.
first 2 free throws of the quarter. They're now 6 of 8 for the quarter. Frickenstein goes 0 for 2 at that trip. Schefter backs down, makes the better decision here. 3 on the way. Fagmeyer, what a play to get the offensive rebound, but just steps out of bounds as her and Bajanski scrap after the ball. Checking in is Olivia Pike.
Great job by Fangmeyer to fight for that rebound.
Schefter will step
out,
off.
Trying to throw it off her foot.
I think we are still the diamond press. Nope, we're just full court man-to-man. Full court man-to-man. Blue Jays need to stop here. Down 5. Coach Pribno is up. Baker has the ball on the left wing, cross screen, throw it into Frickenstein. I don't think there's any doubt where Bergan's going to go with the basketball right now. They are going to feed Frickenstein. Paige Frickenstein, the 6-foot junior, is a handful for the Blue Jays.
Good dribbling there by Fangmeyer, but then loses it as she drives.
Blue Jays will throw it in underneath, trailing 33-26, trailing by 7.
2.5 minutes to go in the game.
Really good screen by Olivia Pike there to get Fangmeyer freed up. Keith has it. I think she wants to feed Pike down low. Pike
Hit
kicks
that,
it out.
hit that.
Fangmeyer, 3 on the way.
Oh,
Karam's out of bounds.
we're getting the looks that we want. I mean, they're just not
Yep.
falling. They're doing what we need to do, and
That's good offense. I think give
Yeah.
Keith credit for taking the ball down on the wing, get a little better angle. Feeds Pike in the low post. Pike has Paige Frickenstein behind her, which has proven to be a challenge with her length and shot blocking. Pike has a great diagonal skip pass to Fangmeyer, who's wide open. And JC's a really good three-point shooter,
Yeah.
and it just didn't go in. Blue Jays need a defensive stop here, trailing by 7. Schefdorf's doing her best to try to keep the ball out of Frickenstein's hand in the low post. Hapke kicks it across to Baker. Baker probes the left with her left hand. Here comes Summer Bajanski with her left hand. Schefdorf with the help.
really,
Oh, my heavens. Bree Schefdorf, the ball had helped on defense. It was actually a turnover or a fumble, and Frickenstein ended up with the ball and scored. Laughlin drives that time, gets tripped up. Coach Hubert, I think, would have liked a foul call there. Usually when they with their legs get taken out from underneath them, but
so obviously now it's the biggest lead of the game that has had. And you heard a little bit more cheering, I think, out of the
Yeah.
Bergan section because they kind of feel like, whew, okay, we can breathe a little bit. Not that it's over, but I've seen the Blue Jays. I've watched this group of girls now for quite some time, and I will tell you, they don't quit. So
yeah, that was a turnover there, but that's really
Yeah.
the first possession that we haven't gotten a shot, and we've gotten good looks, gotten to the foul line. I believe I think this quarter we're only 2 for 4, 2 for 5. We've missed some front ends, but they've done some good things offensively. And again, you're not out of this yet. If you could hit a couple, you still have a timeout left, and Bergen's still going to have to make free throws. And now they've missed 2 in a row. So if you can force them to shoot it quick, or get the right person maybe that you want to get to the foul line, you've got that as an opportunity. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to guess Blue Jays are just going to play this not foul right away and try to get a trap and a steal, maybe an easy basket at the 9-point threshold here, trying to make something happen live ball so you're not just fouling all the time. Might be the way to go, especially if you can get a turnover and some transition points. Summer Bajanski goes to the basketball.
fast. Her and Jada.
Fast
My
and steady.
Goodness
Yeah, they don't.
gracious.
And, Jada just to stay in front of her. That was 2 girls moving very quickly.
Oh, almost had a steal.
Comstock and Fangmeyer battling with Monarch has been one heck of a battle today too.
Yes.
So foul I think is going to be on Fangmeyer. Could be Schefdorf. We'll find out.
Gonna say
Right,
Fangmeyer.
JC Fangmeyer. So 2 shots for Addie Gilfrey. Nope, excuse me.
Hapke.
Carly Hapke, the 5'7" senior.
And she hits the first. not
Misses
the
that second one, and
but-
Frickenstein gets
Yep.
the rebound. Monarch puts it up. Monarch gets her own rebound. Throws it in up off the glass. Frickenstein and Monarch, 2 good athletes making 2 really good plays down at the end of the game here. So Blue Jays hand off from Fangmeyer to Craven. Craven kicks it to Pike. 3 on the way. Front of the rim and bounces off. Rebound to Monarch.
And I think we're just going to let it play
Yep.
out.
The Knights are going to finish 7 of 10 from the free throw line. That's just in the 4th quarter, folks. So 7 of their final points came from the foul line.
Oh, Reagan's going to foul again. Putting Baker at the line. Yep.
Rebecca Baker, 5'9" senior.
Misses the front end of the first one.
Bergan pulls all their players off. Coach Pribno has them back in the backcourt at this point. Blue Jays are down to 1 timeout.
Baker hits the second. Gives the Knights 39, Blue Jays 26.
So the Blue Jays' goal was to try to keep them at 8 points per quarter, and they've had 8 points from the free throw line in this quarter, so plus a few more buckets. 23, I believe that foul was on Carly Hapke. Keith goes to the line for 2. Keith makes her first. 3 for 4 on the day.
Ish.
Ish, according to my crack statistician. Hits them both, 4 for 5. Blue Jays trail by 11. This one looks like the Bergan Knights will improve to 9-0. Blue Jays will fall to 2-5 on the season.
Another hard-fought battle, though, between these two teams, for sure.
Yep. I think that means that the Blue Jays' opponents now have, I think, over 30 victories, too. So shows the toughness of their schedule, and hopefully that helps prepare us. And it just, they're not far off. A couple baskets here or there, and that thing could have gone differently. So congratulations to the 2022 runner-up of the Ashland-Greenwood Holiday Tournament, the 27th annual tournament, the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays, Coach Dave Hubert, and to the champions, the Fremont Bergan Knights.
You trying to get out of your seat or what?
Well, there's nobody here to present
where's
the plaques.
Dustin? Oh, there's where'd Deaderding go? Oh, you need out. Oh, here's Tom. Oh, Tom's got it.
Let's give another round of applause for a well-coached and executed game plan on these girls.
Do you want to go down or you got it?
Yeah. And the runner-up in the 26th annual Ashland-Greenwood Holiday Tournament are your own Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays. And the champions,
Archbishop Bergan.
Fremont Bergan Lady Knights. Sorry about that. There you go.
Thanks to Tom Walsh for stepping in. Presenting the plaques to the champion.
So as we wait for kind of the final stats from Mark Adele, the scoring, and again, I didn't add this up, so it's probably not even close, but it looks like we had Comstock with 2, Laughlin 4, Keith 8, Pike 6, Shefdor 2, and for Bergan, Bajanski 4, and Menarek leading them, and hope she didn't, with 14, Baker 3, Frickenstein with a huge second half, leading them, the Knights, with 18, and Hepke with 2.
And not a statistic we were keeping, but I'm going to guess Frickenstein had half a dozen blocked shots, too.
Yeah.
If not two. She really changed the game. When the Blue Jays did get the ball to the basket, she really came up big on the defensive end by blocking a lot of shots.
So again, though, Blue Jays, yes, until the very end we're in this game, and as you had mentioned, now 9-0 on the season, I think. Is that what you said, 10-0 or 9-0?
9-0, yep.
And again, a very talented team that they hung with and stayed with until the very, very end. So nothing to hang their heads about, as they will be bouncing back here shortly next week. We'll see how they do. And get, again, another challenging lineup, as they had to go again without Lauren Gertis tonight, as also Presley Harms. And, that's one thing, again, I know Coach Hubert would not make an excuse about that, but I know as a coach, it's pretty tough to get your team settled in when you're constantly changing that, and that even comes in practice. You don't even have those girls to practice against, so that becomes a challenge. But so I think with all of that adversity coming at these girls, they're doing extremely well with all of the changes from day to day. So.
Yep, no question. I think that's part of it, is you try to get a rotation, and then all of a sudden things change, and you got to be able to do that on the fly, and in this case, even without practice. So we're going to turn this over here shortly. I didn't know. I really didn't ask the question if we were going to have anybody up for a post-game interview. It looks like Mark is making his way up, so we'll let Mark deliver his statistics, his post-game statistics.
Oh, it's Ryan.
Mark's-
Is it Ryan Menard's dad or Stephen? Is that Ryan's dad?
Yeah.
I don't know how I could tell.
All right, Mark, we're ready for you when you get those headphones on. I think Mark's feet fell asleep during that one in the second half.
Okay. In plain English, we just did not shoot the ball well enough to win, which is what Iowa said last night too. And if you're the team that they didn't shoot well against, you think, gee, we played good defense. If you're the team on offense, you think, gee, we just couldn't hit anything. It's a little bit of both. Bergan did play really good defense. We were 7 of 33 from the field, 3 of 14 from 3, 21% each. 8 of 11 from the line. That kept us in the game as much as it did. And for Bergan, 13 of 31 for 42%. We had no answer for Paige Frickenstein.
Yeah.
She gets the ball down in tight, and they didn't make a three, though. They were 0 for 8. 13 of 26 from the line, 50%. They hit some down the stretch, though, after they struggled.
I think they were 8 for 11 in the fourth quarter alone. So yeah, most of them came in the fourth.
Okay, rebounding. They beat us up pretty bad, particularly Molnarek and Frickenstein. Molnarek with a double-double again. 13 points, 11 rebounds. We tried to check her out. We actually did a reasonably good job of that, but boy, she is another Moses Malone, Paul Silas, whatever under there.
You're dating yourself a little bit there, Mark. I don't know. So
Yeah, okay. They got 27 rebounds, 8 offensive. We got 18 rebounds, 5 offensive. Bree Scheftor did a good job for us on the offensive glass. Turnovers, they had 10, we had 12. And, you know, that kept us in the game, too. We took pretty good care of the ball, considering who we played against. So it doesn't get a whole lot easier. They play Auburn on Monday.
Yep, Mark's right. So thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it came down to Blue Jays make just a few more shots, and they would have been.
Yep.
The game could have been different. And they hung with them for a long time. Bergan converted those shots in the fourth quarter and those free throws, and Blue Jays just weren't able to get over the hump. So Blue Jays, yes, back in action on Monday night down at Auburn, 5:30 tip against Auburn. It's a little 4-game series, Milford, Fall City, and then this year the Blue Jays tip it off against Auburn. It's not a tournament. It's just the boys and girls kind of just rotate who they play. And so our girls will play Auburn at 5:30, and then our boys will play Auburn following that about 7 or 7:15. So, Kendra, anything else you want to add for the day?
Nope. I just said just stay tuned for your next hosts, which are not nearly as good as Brad and I, I'm just saying. But Timmy Washburn and Jason Lywell coming up next for the boys championship game with the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays and the Fremont Bergan Knights.
Yep, I think we're going to sign off for a little bit here. 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's when the warm-up clock will run down, and we will turn it over to the B team, Timmy and Jason.